The contents of this podcast is purely entertainment. Do not take us too serious. We are not experts in anything. Thank you.
Exactly what he said. And understand sarcasm. Good night.
Welcome back to CJ Unmuted, episode 51. I'm your host, Gene.
I'm your host, Chris.
And today, we are trying to figure out what happened in the culture because nothing is happening.
Nothing is happening because, there are things happening. It's just like there's nothing interesting.
It's not
That's
Friday
your
yet,
feeling.
so no good music has released.
It's an early day episode.
It's hot as fuck outside. Iran and freaking Israel are still going at it.
I thought you were going to say Iran, but I'm like, yeah, you did ran into Iran and Israel going back and forth. Trump saying, yo, you niggas don't know what you doing. And
Trump
a bunch
dropping
of
the
other shit.
F-bomb on national television.
Yeah, but like, you expected that? Now, all of that is hilarious because they were like, we brokered the peace, and then they just started fighting, and then he's like, you guys are stupid, and now the peace is apparently.
It's
coming
like
back.
America is like the big, like the dad, and then Iran and Israel are like the toddlers. They're like, stop fighting, and they're like, so one of them throws a cheap shot, and then they
just
keep going at each other. That's kind of the situation we're in right now. Hopefully that stops soon. And
escalate. So yeah, that's.
I know last week I was sitting here and be like, oh, World War III is happening. World War III is happening. But I feel like things have definitely calmed down a little bit in that aspect. Everybody was freaking out about being drafted. Even though if there's a war right now, we have more than enough military to go at war. Because, again, we're the largest military. We're the largest military in the world in terms of resources and technology
and spending.
So none of you guys are getting drafted. Trust me. None of you.
That's when the aliens attack. Now that's
a different story.
When the aliens, do you think we're ready for the aliens to attack?
First of all, I don't believe in aliens.
Okay, cool. But like we've seen videos and movies of them.
If they were to
attack,
in an alternate world where there are aliens, and if they were to attack us, I don't care. Even if we unite, we're not winning. There's no way. If they figured out space travel and like they're like fast enough to get here, if they're like advanced enough to explore the universe and the galaxy to even find us, do you think we have the capabilities to fight them? No matter what we do. We can't even go to Mars safely.
All right, now say like they only had like a one-way ship there, like their planet blew up and they're just floating around.
Still, that's a feat. If they have the feet,
yeah, but they don't have all their weapons,
bro.
We have all our weapons.
If they have the feet to get here, we're cooked. That means they figured out light years fucking space travel.
No,
that means they have a different source of energy. That means like they're pretty advanced, bro. So I'm sure even their basic weapons can do a lot of damage to like any regular country or any regular like continent. If they were to, dude, what do you mean it's not always the case? You make no sense right now.
It's not always the case. Maybe they just happen to be good at transportation. Doesn't mean they're always military. We're talking about aliens. They could be anything. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm saying if they have the capabilities to get here, they have the capabilities to overtake us or beat us in a fight.
And for these, I'm saying they just have the capability to travel. They don't have.
Okay, when you think about technology, right? Let's
Bro,
no.
Back to
no.
Let's say what if they were a peaceful aliens that don't attack?
Okay, then there wouldn't be a war then. If they're a peaceful nation if they're a peaceful alien that don't attack, then there wouldn't be any need for war. What are you talking about?
I know, but do you think we would attack first?
Why would we attack if they didn't attack us? And they're peaceful, as you say. What if they're coming here peacefully, trying to talk to us? Why would we attack first?
Because plot, all right? Because of plot.
then again, if you want to go for the plot, then they'll win. Like I said.
All right, fine.
Because again, if they have the capabilities to get here, they have the capabilities to beat us. I believe so.
So you think they tanking the nukes we got?
they're tanking the nukes.
Yeah.
Who knows what kind of force shield that they have? We don't know. I think they can. If the nuclear bomb is
Who
the
are
most
they?
listen, if the nuclear bomb is the most destructive weapon that we have on planet Earth, and they're aliens and they're figured out fucking space travel, I'm sure they have destructive capabilities when it comes to weapons that
I
would
mean, we've figured
that
out
would
space travel.
we haven't figured out space travel yet, bro.
We're-
We
can
can't
go
go
to the
that
moon.
far. We can't go that far. If they've traveled past another solar system to get here, bro, they're way more advanced than us because we're nowhere near close to doing that. They figured out to like have people on the ship, and you're saying a large amount of people too, right? A large amount of aliens, right? They figured out how to sustain them in space, how
For
to
someone that
travel all the
doesn't
way here.
believe in aliens.
Yeah, I
you
don't
have
believe in alien because of that
a
specific
whole
reason.
Thought about them.
Yeah, I really
Maybe
don't
we're
believe
just
in
the last in the world of the universe to figure out space travel. That's why everyone leaves us alone. All the
No.
aliens out there.
That theory doesn't make sense. Sorry, I burped. It might smell terrible.
Mm.
um, that theory doesn't make any sense. Oh, they're leaving us alone because we haven't figured out space travel. That means they're aware that we exist.
Yeah, and they're just like, when that planet discovers space travel, we'll all commune and trade with that.
That doesn't make any sense because if they had good intention, they would come here and help us figure out space
No.
travel. I don't believe in that theory. That doesn't make any sense at all. Oh, we'll just let them figure out space travel, and then when they do, we'll communicate with them.
Yeah,
That's
what
dumb.
What if that's just like what's it called from Invincible? What's their race do? They go to conquer a
The
planet?
Viltrumite,
Yeah,
they send people on
to conquer
planets
yeah.
to breed and conquer the planet.
Yeah. Okay. So, with that mindset, right? Let's just say this federation of planets just lets planets either decide their fate by conquering space travel, and if they don't, their planet fades, and they're like, all right, we're moving on to the next planet. That civilization didn't work out.
Then would have been conquered because like this
Or
planet
maybe
has
we're
been.
still on the way.
I don't think that theory makes any sense
Why not?
because, like I said, then either they would have been here already, or they would have helped us
Maybe
already.
they were here already.
You see, this is why like I don't really. This is why I don't believe in aliens and stuff like that. Cause like, you know, they have these reports of UFOs and like alien spottings and stuff like that, and we have HD cameras in our hands, and there's never a clear image of a fucking alien.
Yeah.
And people claim that they see UFOs,
But
they've
wait,
seen
that goes
aliens.
against your whole thinking because if they have so advanced technology, they would be able to just move around without anyone ever finding us,
True,
finding them. So
true.
what if they're already here?
But don't you think they would have made contact with us already?
What if they
And then
did?
there's conspiracy theories out there that believe that we've made contact with them already. And I'm like, okay, then haven't we like made like further progress with space travel? Why are we so far away from terraforming Mars? Why is space travel still not like a tourist attraction? Why can't we just go to the moon just cause? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know. We're not
So
there yet.
yeah, again, and then there's other people that are like, oh yeah, I don't even believe we even in space. The people that believe that the moon landing was like fucking filmed in the studio and shit like that. Those people are also dumb. I feel like, yeah, if you're sitting here in 2025 and believe that the moon landing was a fucking
Folks.
was a hoax,
Yeah, but why was the flag like floating?
what do you what? What? No, I want you to say that louder for the
Why
audience.
is the flag floating? There's no gravity in space.
Why was the flag
They
floating?
say there's no gravity in space.
Okay.
How's the flag doing anything? How's it straight up?
I'm sure there's a bunch of scientists right now that will listen to you and be like, wow, that's why people shouldn't have microphones.
There's some science listening to us right now.
Who knows? We have a lot of mendems listening to us from the UK. Maybe one of them is a scientist. Anyways,
Why
Bro.
couldn't that scientist be from America?
what?
What?
What you said?
Why couldn't that scientist be from America? We have more.
Because based on our stats, the largest people that watch our channel are from the UK.
No, they're from America.
What they are?
Yeah.
Maybe that stat was outdated. It's been a while since I looked at the analytics. I'm sorry, guys. Shout out to the US. Anyways, shout out to us, man. Shout out to the US.
Shout out to the U.S.
This reminds me of this meme I saw after we bombed Iran.
What?
The Spider-Man and Lex Luthor meme. They're going back and forth. It was like we bombed some folks. It was like, what do you mean
Oh,
we?
Superman. What do you mean we?
What do you mean? He's
Oh,
like,
the Ace Fade
he's
one.
like, are you speaking French? I'm like, no, we, as in us, as in the U.S. He was like, what do you mean?
Did you draft yourself? What?
He's like, I'm not even from here.
Not even from here.
Superman was like, I'm not even from here. I'm about to dip. He was like, what you mean dip? I'm about to come with you. Anyways,
Anyway,
we went on a rant just now about aliens. Tell me one other conspiracy theory that you believe in. I don't think we've ever talked about that.
I don't believe.
Because I'm not a real conspiracy theorist. I don't really have any conspiracy theory that I believe in. But do you have any interesting ones so I can debate as to why it's stupid?
Conspiracy theories?
Yeah.
I don't know. Most of them aren't real.
No, I'm talking about something you believe in. Like a conspiracy theory you believe in.
Movies are definitely a preempted to what's going to happen,
I disagree with that.
or not a preemptive, just certain ideas get passed.
I
They'll
feel
come
like
into fruition.
since like history is just gonna like go on and time will go on and stuff like that. Something all right. Movies we can agree that movies and TV shows and stuff like that come from the mind of humans, right? It's like creativity. We write things and like it's just based on creative like what's the word? Creative. It's a creative thing. It comes from the human mind or whatever.
Yeah,
That doesn't necessarily mean that
and it comes
it's a
from humans.
prediction. It's a coincidence that whatever we see in movies is sometimes replicated in reality because again, inspiration comes from reality. So
So
yeah.
what do you
So
mean?
you're saying that movies predict
I didn't.
on
I didn't
purpose.
say they predict. I said they give a preemptive idea of what's to come. They
I
don't
don't.
predict.
I don't think they. All right. What I have an issue with that statement. The only thing I have an issue with that statement is like it makes it seem like you're saying they predict it, like they do it on purpose. I'm saying it's accidental. Do we agree on that?
No, I feel like some things are. I feel like most of it's accidental, but I feel like some things are specifically designed. Concepts are put into movies that are later that just fall into society.
So you're saying that okay.
I feel like
I don't
after
know.
years of data, there's a part of the government that looks over stuff and looks at over psychological history of the country.
So you're saying that Hollywood and the government work together to feed us stuff. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that a conspiracy theory that you believe in?
That's a conspiracy theory I don't like fully believe in, but if it were real, I'd be like, that makes sense.
You're contradicting yourself because you're saying that.
I don't say I believe in it completely, but I'm saying like I could see certain things that are I'm like, that would make sense if that was real, but I'm not going off the bat to say like, yeah, that's
So you're
real.
skeptical, pretty much.
Mm,
I'm gonna stay on the side that I don't believe in it. It's just purely coincidental and accidental that sometimes whatever we see in TV shows may be replicated in reality.
I mean, that's what some TV shows are. They're based on a true story.
I mean, yeah, if it happened already. I'm talking about you saying stuff that are being like that are gonna happen.
I mean, like that whole movie where there's a virus and then COVID happens. Not saying that movie exactly was like, oh, this is coming. I'm just saying that the concept of something that happened in reality has already happened in fiction.
But
Not all the time,
if you
not
want to
all the
use that
time.
example, well, there's a major pandemic every 100 years, so that's just a scientific fact. So it was already bound to happen based on history and based on the data we have from that.
Yeah.
So
And some movies depict what that would look like in a certain time frame.
yeah, it doesn't mean that they're predicting it.
No,
They're
not predicting it.
accidentally.
They're giving ideas of what that would look like, and then sometimes those ideas look like real life, even though they don't always be.
Okay, can we agree that it's accidental and not like a plot by the government or wherever to like
Oh,
predict.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the accidental is the crazy thing of human creativity predicting stuff.
Oh, okay, then I can agree with that. Like, okay, then that statement that you just made makes more sense to me.
The conspiracy would be the government doing it. My
But
thoughts are
you're
just
saying
like,
the fact that it's so accidental is crazy. Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I can agree with that because sometimes
Or is it on the nose? Because like Homelander, The Boys, the last election, where they
I mean,
just do it
obviously
together.
they're paralleling what's happening in real life to write
Yeah.
the boys, so they're very vocal about doing that. You know what I mean?
Explain The Simpsons
They're
right now. You explain every Simpsons that
bro.
looked like it came true, but it
The
wasn't.
Simpsons is a show that's been going on for over 30 years old, right? There's only so many things that they're gonna do that are gonna be like. Of course, they're gonna have a lot of like episodes that mirror real life. Especially, it's a show that's been going on for over 30 years, and they came up with like, different scenarios for each episode. Of course,
They
if
predicted
you,
Trump was gonna run.
of course, a few of them are gonna be true.
They predicted stuff.
I don't want to say predicted. They creatively made something that happens to have replicated in real life.
Do you think there's a group of people that actually run the world?
No. I don't think there's a group of people. I mean, all right, it depends on in what sense. A secret society of people that run the world, or like there's leaders obviously that run the world. What are you trying to say?
Both.
Both. So obviously there's leaders every country. Like, all right, I want to say the major countries in the world, like the U.S., China, Russia, they run the world. We
Yeah,
like,
the UN. Yeah.
not the UN. The UN just said coalition. I'm talking about the powerful nations. So yeah, they run the world because honestly, they dictate what goes or what doesn't because they're so big and they have so many resources and they have the biggest militaries and yeah. But in terms of like a secret society of like that we don't know that are behind the scenes that are pulling the strings of as like to the world events, I don't believe that's going on. What makes you believe in that? You agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm joking.
wait.
The world is run.
Okay, enlighten me. Let me hear your thoughts.
The world is run by aliens.
Are you joking or are you being
I'm
serious?
joking. I think the world is just run by money and resources.
Obviously. So, yeah. So the biggest nations do run the world, but I don't think there's like a group of people with hood and mask and fucking rituals and shit in the background, fucking dictating everything that goes on in the world.
Oh, no,
Like
that's
some people-
ridiculous, but
like some
I
people-
love the idea of it.
Like some people believe in the Illuminati and stuff like that. Oh my god,
I mean,
bro.
technically they are a real group, but that's not what they
I
are.
remember when in 2012 people were like, "Oh, Beyonce sold her soul. She looks so devilish. She sold her soul to the devil. Blah blah blah." To attain all this fame and money and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, bro, you guys are like,
I was like, so why haven't you done that? That's so easy.
Exactly, right? It was so easy.
Side yourself
So
right here.
why is it so many bad people in power right now or rich and stuff like that? Why don't you just do it right now and get rich? How about you do it right now? Show me how she did it. Why is there so many struggling artists out there? And I'm sure a lot of them don't give a fuck about religion and stuff like that. They're still struggling, bro. Why haven't they sold their soul? You tell me they have to go through a connect or something?
They have to be good.
You're saying they have to go through a connect? Like, is there like a connect, a merchant that connects you to the devil for you to pop off? Because by that logic, there has to be a guy, right? By that logic that
There's
she
a
did,
guy.
that all of these celebrities that are popular right now went to be like, oh, yo, I'm selling my soul. And he's like, I got you. Like, there has to be a guy.
Nah, you gotta get to level 1. Then you get to level 2, then 3, and then you get
Bro.
to sell.
Those kind of like
Those conspiracy theories are hilarious.
Those people, no, and it's the people that wholeheartedly believe in it that like I just can't be around, bro. Like when you
What do you mean?
when you see it in their eyes, like they
You don't believe that they're demons and
listen.
lizard people are taking over the world?
When you see it in their eyes that they fully believe that shit, bro,
Why do you think they
I just be
canceled
like,
inside
dang.
jobs?
That's one of the reasons why I left Facebook too, because I used to see a lot of those conspiracy theories from like on Facebook, and I see family members posting it. I see people. I'm like, oh, I can't believe you believe in that, honestly. And it's mainly the boomers. So, but anyways,
Well, you gotta come up with stuff.
and
I mean, then there's the conspiracies that's like that's crazy, but then you find out that's real.
like,
Um, crack.
I don't think. I mean, that wasn't really a conspiracy though.
It was before the
I'm sure when it was happening.
before it was declassified.
Listen. I'm sure when it was happening, right? If you went into the hoods, right, and spoke to the drug lords in those hoods that were selling these substances, the people that came across the FBI and the CIA and stuff like that,
Mm.
they were telling people, "Yo, I got this shit from the government." Like the CIA and FBI are involved in this shit. So I feel like that specific example always stemmed from truth and it spread, and then they try to make it a conspiracy theory, but oh no, it's real. Why would the government do that? Blah blah. To like try to
Propaganda against people.
yeah. But I
But
think
it was
any sound-minded person back then who believed in that was right for doing so. Because I feel like if I was back there back then, right,
yeah,
and I
but
saw
nobody
what was
believed
going
you.
on,
That's crazy.
what
Why would the government do that? That's stupid.
people did believe in it.
Hmm?
People did believe in it.
Why would the government do that? What kind of people believed in it?
What kind of people believe in it? The people that lived in those communities,
Exactly. Who didn't believe in it?
the major population. They didn't believe in it because they didn't live in those communities,
Yeah.
and they had their own biases against the minorities that lived in those communities. So of course they're not gonna believe in that.
Yeah.
But if you live in those communities, you believe in it.
Yeah.
What's a conspiracy theory in your community right now that you believe in?
What's a conspiracy theory in my community? I don't follow too many real conspiracy theories. I need logical, empirical evidence before I believe in anything.
Same here.
That's like,
That's far fetched.
or at least I have to have a greater understanding of what it is.
So in that logic, right? Let's switch over to this controversial topic of religion. Would you want to dabble there?
Today's religion talk. Okay.
We can go there. Are we pushing the are we moving the needle to that?
We're moving the needle.
I guess we
We're
are,
talking
right?
about religion.
So let me start with the basics, right?
Okay.
Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
You do. Do you have any evidence of his existence? Since you're a logical person, you just made a statement that you need solid proof of evidence to believe in anything. So how does that how does your faith in God not go against your fundamental beliefs?
It's hard to say because my faith in God is my faith in belief.
Your faith is God. Explain that.
Like I believe in belief.
Explain it more.
Um.
So you believe in beliefs without any evidence. So you're contradicting yourself.
No, I believe in like what you believe in your reality, in your world, is what's real to you.
I don't get that concept. Maybe it's too stupid. Explain it more.
I believe in God.
Why?
Just my experiences and everything I've looked through in my life so far.
Okay, but so you're saying your experiences is your proof as to why you believe in God?
Yeah.
But they're just your experiences, though. So if there is a higher power out there, why isn't there more evidence of his existence?
Because
I'm gonna get a lot of flack for asking these questions, but Why not? It's a podcast, right?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Because here's how to explain it. It's because it's religion is more individualism. It's supposed to be individual to you, in my opinion.
Don't say it's supposed to be.
In my opinion,
Because what authority are you to?
is what I think religion is. My opinion.
Okay. So, based on that, first of all, in order to understand more, like, how you think and, like, your beliefs, right? You gotta, like, explain to me what's your definition of God and if you believe in Jesus and Christ, or, like, what do you, like, yeah, what kind of, like, religion you follow.
I forget all the names for all of them, but I guess it's somewhere in Christianity sector.
So you believe in Jesus Christ.
I believe it's hard to say because I believe Jesus was more of a prophet.
So you believe Jesus existed
As a prophet, yeah.
as a prophet.
Yeah.
So you believe he was resurrected then. He died and he came back to life and ascended to heaven.
Yeah.
You do.
In the esoteric sense.
Explain that.
In the esoteric sense.
Explain
As in,
that.
Like, I don't have the brain power for all that, but I'll try to explain it the best I have. In the sense that most of the supernatural things, I think, are allegories for things.
So you're saying you can't say that about the resurrection of Jesus Christ if you're a Christian. That's like a fundamental belief of Christianity. Like, you can't say it's an allegory because in the Bible, it's listed as a fact that he died and rose again and ascended to heaven, and that's how he left Earth. So you can't sit here and say, "Oh, it's an allegory." If you really want to be a believer, you have to accept that as a fact that he died and he rose again. If you want to transform that, then you completely diverting from Christianity.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean, right?
I see what you're saying.
So that's where where the gray area is, right?
That
when
is
it
the
comes to
gray
belief
area.
and when it comes to picking a religion. You know what I mean?
It's more.
So
that's
would you
part of-
say that, okay, let me try to, I'm not even trying to bailing you out of here.
No.
But,
don't-
okay.
don't- It's not part of that. I don't believe that it does, but the way I split my brain is to have a full logical that doesn't think about it. But my belief is still my belief. But my logical part of my brain will still try to think of everything in as close to bringing the things that don't make supernatural sense, because it's not technically meant for us to understand.
It is meant for us to understand. That's why it was written in the Bible. You can't make that statement either.
No, I'm talking about how it was done. The power that was used, it was God's power, but how it was done. We're not meant to understand how to do that.
Okay, we're not meant to recreate it.
Yeah.
But you're saying that we're meant to accept it.
Yeah, it happened. Yeah.
So
that's
that means
the
you
part of the belief.
So that means you believe in it.
Yeah.
You believe he died and then rose and then ascended to heaven.
And the logical part of my brain is, how is that possible?
Okay, then. So you're conflicted.
Not conflicted. I have the belief that it's there, but I'm still trying to figure out how it was, but we're not really meant to. I don't think you get what I'm saying.
You're contradicting yourself.
How
You're
much?
saying that you're trying to find logic in it. You believe in it, but you're still trying to find logic in it. But your bailout is, oh, we're not meant to understand it, so I can give up trying
That's
to
the
find
only
logic.
logical conclusion I've come up with.
How
so
we're not
far.
meant to understand it though? That
Because
doesn't
we
make
would
any
have
sense.
understood, because we would have understood it.
What is there to understand?
I'm talking about how
He
it
died.
Was, yeah.
He got brought back to life by God. He ascended to heaven by flying upwards.
Yeah.
How are we not meant to understand that? What's there not to understand when it's stuff that allegedly people witnessed?
I'm talking about how it happened.
how it happened.
You're still missing
How it
what I'm
happened.
saying.
How it happened don't matter. It's either you believe it happened,
Yeah, I told you I believe it happened.
but you're trying to understand how it happened. You can't understand how it happened
Why can't I?
because we
understand how it
can't.
happened?
When humans die, when regular humans die, we die. We can't come back to life. Right?
Mm,
So if God can make that happen, if he can make somebody come back to life, that's something we would never be able to replicate.
I know.
So you trying to find the okay, how did it happen to try to like justify your logic? You can't do that.
It's not to justify my logic. My logical brain can only go so far and then reach that conclusion.
So you're
That's-
saying religion is an exception to your fundamental core beliefs. Is that what you're saying? Religion is an exception.
I wouldn't say that. How would I mean?
You just did.
I guess. Sure.
So you want evidence that something is real and truly happened in regular life, right? But when it comes to religion, you just gotta believe in it. That's what you're saying.
If that's your experience, that's that was my
if
experience.
that's your experience,
Yeah.
What do you mean if that's your experience?
If you have no experience with religion that brought you anywhere in it, then it's just not your experience, so you won't believe in it.
and you said you're a Christian, and I'm telling you, as a Christian, you have to believe in the resurrection
I
of Christ.
said I don't remember all the names of all the different
What do you
sects.
mean? There's Islam, there's Judaism, there's Christianity, which has different sects. Catholicism,
That's what I meant.
Mormonism,
Yeah, I don't remember the difference in what they. But I was
evangelical, and Pentecostal or something like that. I forgot the name of it. But there's many sects. But the consensus is that Jesus Christ died on the cross, rose up again, and ascended to heaven. I don't think Islam believes in that. I don't quote me on here, but
No, they don't. They
I don't
believe
think
he was
they-
a prophet.
I don't think they believe that he was a son of God and died and resurrected.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I never really dabbled in Islam like that, but I could be wrong.
No, I believe that's it.
Jewish people also don't believe in Jesus Christ.
I believe there's
So
some of them are split on that, but most
they
of them don't.
they don't believe that he died and got resurrected. So you want to be affiliated with Christianity, right?
Why you yo? What is all this? You try to...
What do you mean? That's what you said. Those are your words.
Sure.
Which
I
sect
like-
of Christianity? Are you Catholic?
I grew up that.
For
way.
example, I was raised Catholic. So in the Catholic faith, Jesus Christ died, rose, and ascended to heaven.
Yeah.
That's the core belief of Catholicism.
Is that Christianity still?
Yes, Catholicism is Christianity.
Okay, then yeah, I'm under Catholicism. That's what I was raised.
Okay. So you believe in the resurrection of Christ.
Yeah.
So
So why are we attacking me? What about you?
we're not. I'm asking the questions here. You don't flip the script.
No, we're flipping the
No,
script.
we're not.
What do you believe in?
Hold on, I'm not done with you. So, in that case, I want to go back to what you were saying earlier, right?
Mhm.
You were saying you need proof of like stuff before you believe in it. And I want you to admit that you believe that religion is an exception for you. Because there's no way you're going to have proof of Jesus Christ dying, resurrecting, and ascending to heaven. But you claim to be a Christian. And you claim to be affiliated with Catholicism. So you're never going to have proof of that. So are you saying that religion is an exception?
I said my experiences
Your
changed my perception in that. So you can argue and
I'm
get
not
your
arguing.
Religion is an exception.
I'm not arguing. I'm just stating facts here.
Hmm?
I'm just stating facts. I'm not arguing. You claim to be a Catholic, right? It's either you claim to be a Catholic or you don't. If you don't claim to be a Catholic, you can we can start this conversation like right now. If you claim to just be like spiritual, you believe in God, but you don't follow a religion, we'll be having a whole different conversation right now. You know what I
Oh.
mean? But the fact that you claim to be a
Those are the
Catholic.
words. Those are the kind of the words that I was trying to say.
No, don't. Then I
Thank
don't want.
you.
I'm not gonna speak
Thank
for
you for
you.
explaining
No, you
what I
have to.
was
You have
trying to
to.
say.
You have to formulate those for yourself. I can't speak for you. So tell me, what are your belief system? What are you?
On paper, Catholic.
You can't be on paper. You can't be Catholic on paper if you don't believe in the resurrection of Christ. You can't.
I just told you I did. What do
So
you
you
call-
do.
Yes, but I'm more spiritual, so I look at everything differently.
So you're confused. That's it. You're
I'm
confused.
not confused.
Okay. So your main point is going back to experiences, right? I'm saying okay, that's cool and all, but again, the fundamentals of Christianity, especially Catholicism, is the belief Jesus Christ died, resurrected, ascended to heaven, and the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
So you believe in the Holy Trinity? I'm I'm not attacking you. I
We're
don't
gonna
know.
have to come back. No, we're not gonna come back to this because, yes, because the way I've read it and been brought up and seen what it means is that God was in Jesus' body. Is that's why people, I think, Jesus is God. Is my
Repeat that. Repeat that.
Jesus being God is my only thought.
The Holy Trinity is God in Catholicism.
But Jesus is God incarnated or his son,
The Holy Trinity. You know what the Holy Trinity is?
the Father, Son, and the Spirit.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Co-eternal persons. So that God is one. Exists within the. All right, I'm gonna read the definition for you. Right, the Trinity in Christian theology refers to the belief that God is one being existing in three co-equal, co-eternal persons: the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. This concept is a central tenet of Christianity, though the word Trinity itself is not explicitly in the Bible. The word Trinity is
Which
not
Bible?
the word Trinity is not explicitly in the Bible, but there's reference to like the Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit, which is a Trinity.
Yeah.
So, do you believe in the Holy Trinity?
I mean, the Trinity makes sense for the world. We got three branches of government.
I'm not talking.
Look at
Bro,
we
don't
have
try to
three
bail
everything.
yourself out. I asked you personally.
The
do
world runs on this religion.
Do you believe in the Holy Trinity? Do you personally believe in the Holy Trinity? Because if you do, I have another question for you. I love doing this. I love it
Why?
because I'm not on the hot seat.
Why not?
Okay, then answer my question.
I'm trying to understand what you mean by the Holy Trinity.
Do you believe in the Holy Trinity? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit
Yeah.
is God.
It's a form of God, yeah.
Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, going back to your personal beliefs on evidence, would you be able to prove that?
What do you
You
believe in?
wouldn't.
Let me ask you a question.
You're not a theologist. You're not. We're not. We're both not theologists.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
What do you believe in?
What do I believe? I'm gonna be very honest with my beliefs right now. Growing up, I was Catholic, right? Grew up Catholic. I went to Sunday school. I mean, yeah, Sunday school. Knew all the like the prayers and stuff like that. Right now, and then eventually later in life, my mom married a Muslim person, and I was exposed to like Islam in that aspect, but I never practiced. I just saw it from like being in that environment. And now I'm in a really gray area when it comes to religion and my belief in a higher power. I don't know what I believe. I'm agnostic. I'm not gonna lie. Like I really don't know what I believe and I'm sitting here putting you in the hot seat, but like I haven't really educated myself further in like any of those religions to even figure out what I believe. But I do find myself sometimes praying and talking to a higher power. So yeah, I'm right in the middle. I really don't know.
I see.
You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna sit here and take a hard stance because I don't know.
So you don't believe.
I never said that.
But
And
what
you just
do you believe?
you just I just told you I don't know what I believe. Sometimes I find myself praying to a higher power.
So you don't know.
Sometimes I don't know if there's even a higher power. I'm in the constant state of confusion most of the time. I'm in the middle most of the time. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm agnostic. Let me read you the definition of agnostic.
So you don't know.
Hold on. That's not what agnostic is.
You just said
Atheism is not believing. Agnosticism is the view that the existence or non-existence of a god or ultimate reality is unknown or unknowable. That's what it means.
not knowing.
Do you want me to read it again?
Yeah.
It says agnosticism. Sorry, I'm reading that shit like a fucking brain rot guy.
This is why we need ChatGPT to talk for us.
Agnosticism is the view that the existence, so both the existence or non-existence of a god or ultimate reality is an unknown or unknowable. So I think ultimate reality is talking about heaven and hell.
Unknowable. So you don't know.
You're focusing on the unknown or unknowable.
Yeah.
Listen again.
Yeah.
You're not. It says the view.
The
It's
view
the view
that you don't,
that-
you will not know.
No, the view that the existence
Is
or
unknowable.
non-existence of a god or ultimate reality is unknown or
Unknown.
unknowable. Agnostics neither affirms nor denies the existence of a deity. You understand?
Yes.
So I don't affirm or deny. I'm just in the middle.
Yes. Unknown. You don't know.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Don't know. Yes.
Yeah,
Knowledge.
I don't affirm or
Knowledge.
deny.
That has nothing to do with belief.
It does though. I don't affirm or deny. So I don't know what to believe. Because I don't affirm or deny. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
the mic
understand
is
your
far.
position.
Like I don't affirm or deny. So I'm in the middle.
Do you believe your gene or do you know your gene?
Okay, we can go the whole other thing with that question alone. Do I believe I'm Gene?
Or do you know your gene?
Gene was just a name given to me.
Okay.
Just like Chris was just a name given to you. There's
Okay.
many genes in the world. I know I'm me
How do you know?
because I can feel, I can see, I can speak, I have my own thoughts. Those are tangible things that make me feel and know that I'm me.
Mm.
Especially feelings. I
Do
can
you believe
feel
that all
things.
to be real?
I mean, it's real because we feel things. We can.
How do you know?
What do you mean? How do you?
How do you know I feel anything?
I'm going through the human experience.
What's that?
You felt that.
Don't touch
Exactly. You felt that, right?
No.
Yeah. So why did you tell me not to touch you?
What if I'm just an AI? This is a prompt.
That troll. We was going
Anyway,
so good.
No, but you understanding your position, not knowing whether it's true or not, and belief are two different things.
Like some days I'll wake up and
someone who believes doesn't need to know.
I'm a flip flopper. I'm not gonna lie. Some days when I'm depressed, I'll be like, "Oh shit, man! I don't really know if there's a higher power." You know what I mean? There's no higher power. They're like, "Dang, God doesn't exist." Blah blah. And then some days I'm doing real good. I'm like, "Dang, thank God!" Like I'm believing. I'm like, yeah. Obviously, there's no coincidences. Everything happened for a reason. You know what I mean? I'm like, I feel like, yeah, that's me. That's really me. And then sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes I'm depressed and I lean on it and like I believe and I pray and like, that faith comes back to me. You know what I mean?
I see.
And then sometimes it's just, it doesn't. And I ask myself questions and I ask the world questions and it's just a constant flip flop for me. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. So I can't sit here in front of this audience and you and take a firm stance when I know for a fact in my mind it's just a constant battle.
I see. I see. I see. I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. That's why I feel like my perspective and things that we're talking about wouldn't be interesting because
It'd be totally interesting,
I had no stance.
but you can have a stance.
What do you mean?
Why do you think things are the way they are? Like, why do you choose, like, not knowing and not choosing to believe? I don't know how to explain it. Like, your stance is you don't know, so you don't have a stance on it.
My stance is I don't affirm nor deny.
So, what do you think?
I just told you what I think. I don't affirm nor deny.
So, what's your thoughts on it, though?
I just told you. I just told you.
Yeah, but what do you like think about it in an alternate scenario?
What alternate scenario?
Like, let's say pick one side is the actual one, and what do you think that would do?
I feel like there's arguments for both sides to affirm and deny, and I don't know. I'm in the middle, so I can't affirm or deny. I can't take a stance. That's what I think about it. That's how I feel about it, and that's what I'm telling you.
I see. Understandable.
You know, I mean, if you were to ask other constructive questions like, you know, how I got to this point, or like what's making me flip flop, then maybe I can elaborate on that.
No,
But
those are too obvious.
what,
I want
how
to
is it too
know.
obvious?
I want to know if you were to choose a side, what would that look like for you?
I wouldn't be able to. I can't give you that answer right now because right now I can't affirm or deny it.
I'm trying to get you to think outside of your current self and think of a self of you that chooses one side.
So you want me to make arguments for both sides? I can if you want.
I'm not saying.
You saying if I was to pick a side,
I just want you. I want to see what that looks like for you.
you're trying to make
Taking
me
an
lean
argument.
towards one side
I
or the
wanna see
other.
what you look like on both sides.
So
Since
you
you're
want
on,
me,
since you're in the middle.
so you want me to make arguments for both sides? That's what I said.
Yes.
Okay. In the case that, like you know, in the case that like you know, there's a higher power. There's a lot of unknown things that haven't been explained. You know what I mean? And sometimes in my day-to-day life, sometimes it feels like there's a higher power based on like the like extreme circumstances on my life that I've escaped and stuff like that. The times that I prayed and prayed for like a special outcome to happen and it did, you know, stuff like that. And on the other end, there's also a case that there's no higher power because there's also been a time and time that I prayed for specific outcomes that like you know that didn't happen. There's also kids dying all over the world that are innocent, you know, and they're supposed to like you know, their death and stuff don't make any sense. You know what I mean? There's kids starving. There's literally kids being bombed right now in Iran. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? If there was a higher power, stuff like that shouldn't be happening, no matter what the circumstances are. You know what I mean? But then that goes into like the whole idea of original sin and like we're all sinners no matter what the fucking circumstances because of like Adam and Eve. And then that goes into even believing in Adam and Eve. So there's Adam and Eve and there's evolution. You know, so it's a very big topic of discussion that can like that we can have for hours and hours. Like
Yeah.
again, the Adam and Eve thing. As a Christian, you're a Christian, right? Do you
I'm
believe?
a spiritual Christian.
No, you said you're Catholic.
I'm.
So you take
spiritual.
that back.
I'm Catholic. I was raised Catholic.
Okay, you was raised Catholic, but what are you now?
Pseudo Catholic.
So you can't say that. You're spiritual, but pseudo Catholic. Doesn't make any sense, bro.
I follow the guidelines because I believe in belief. I believe that all the religions are.
Anyways, okay, fine. Adam and Eve. You believe in Adam and Eve?
I believe that there's enough belief that it happened.
Doesn't make if you can't say that.
That's how reality gets distorted.
Do you believe in Adam and Eve?
This reality, yes. No. Well, again, this is one of those things where I feel like some of them that happened were allegories, and some of them that happened were
Again,
actual.
the Adam and Eve thing is not an allegory. It's literally about the creation of the universe and Earth. So you can't. It's not. It wasn't meant to be read as like an allegory, because if you want to believe in it, God created Adam, and then created Eve from Adam, and they were in the Garden of Eden. She ate the forbidden fruit first, tempted Adam to eat the forbidden fruit. They were tempted by the devil. They got kicked out of fucking heaven. They were cursed. We were, as men, we were cursed to work for the rest of our days. She was cursed to bleed and produce children and go through periods every month and stuff like that.
Mm.
Those are fundamental cores of Christianity, if you believe in it. But the interesting part is, there's some Christians who believe in evolution.
Yeah.
And they try to make sense of the world.
Okay, I think I got it now. I
By
got it now. Let me
hold on. They try to make sense of the world by explaining that evolution was actually created by God, and like, you know, that's the natural process that God did, created our universe and stuff like that. And they have a different argument for those stories, like the Adam and Eve thing. I haven't read into
Yeah,
that,
they're
but
allegories.
you can't say they're allegories. Okay, allegories of what, Chris? You focus on that. You've been focused on that word for like a lot, but you don't. If you can't explain to me that they're all what kind of allegories they are, then you can't really make that argument. Or you
Well,
can
I
just say
can't-
that you don't know.
I
That's
can't
okay.
make it now. I knew at one point. I remember this. I had to go research that. I will research that and get back to you on that
I don't know when we're gonna talk about this
in a
again.
later episode.
Like I said, I don't know how.
Like I'm just gonna pop up one day and be like, you know what? Here's the allegory for you. Like one random episode. I'm just gonna do that.
Hmm.
Cause I'm looking at the time, bro. We're talking.
But yeah,
Anyway,
there's some Christians that do believe in evolution, and they have an argument as to what happened there. And
so why don't you go grill them? Why are
Hold
you
on.
attacking me?
I'm not attacking hold. And they've also been challenged by other Christians that don't believe in religion but do believe in evolution and stuff like that. It's like, so what I'm trying to say is, if
Yeah,
you
the
go out
different sects
there,
of Christianity.
no, not different. If you go out there, right?
That's how the sects begin, bro.
Hold on.
Protestants exist because the king was like, "Yo, I want to divorce my wife. You're not supposed to divorce your wife." That's why that
Yeah,
whole section exists.
Exactly.
So,
I'm not talking about
That's what I'm
that.
talking about. There's different sects.
I'm not talking about. I know there's different sects. That's not the point I'm trying to say. That's not what I'm trying to say.
So what are you trying to say?
I'm saying that if you go out there and talk to different people, right, within those sects, right,
Mhm.
you will see that even within those sects, people have different beliefs
Yeah,
and different ideas as to what actually happened.
yeah, because people have
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about,
ideas and brains, and
the sex
they think
thing.
differently.
but yeah,
Belief is only as powerful as many people believe in it.
okay. This is where I stand. I'm glad. I don't know how we got here, but we really got into. Well, I got into grilling you.
I'm being attacked for some reason.
It was fun.
I'm like, I don't actually have an identifier for my religion. I follow under Catholicism guidelines.
That you can't.
I
say
read
that.
up a little bit. Because, like I
You
said, I
can't
believe in
say that.
belief.
You can't say that you follow under Catholicism guideline and then tell me that Adam and Eve is an allegory. You can't say that.
Says who? Who are you?
Huh?
Who are you?
I'm just speaking the facts. If you go talk to any theologist, they will tell you the same things.
Tell me what.
What I just said.
Tell me what I believe in?
No, they will tell you the same thing I just said. I'm not telling you what to believe in. You're free to believe in what you believe. I'm just saying, theologically, that's not right.
What does that mean?
What
It's
do you
not
mean?
Right.
Because that's not a core foundation of Catholicism.
And I said I follow around the guidelines of Catholicism
So you don't follow Catholicism.
for the most part.
Then say that. Why are you trying to link yourself so hard to Catholicism?
I wasn't.
Yes, you were, because every time we discuss it, you're like,
And every time
I
you were
follow
like, you put yourself
Catholicism.
on the I was like, who said I was doing all that?
Every time I was what? Sorry.
Every time you were like, so you say this is you. You were saying you're a Christian. You're a Christian. I'm like, yo, bro, I didn't say all that. I'm saying I follow.
But you
I
technically you did. I asked you like direct questions, and you answered that you're Catholic.
Yeah.
Okay, again just to clarify. Are you a Catholic?
I follow Catholicism. I believe in God.
That's not what I asked you.
I don't like labels.
Yes or
I
no?
don't like labels.
So you're not a Catholic.
I don't like labels.
So you can't.
If
say
you
that.
have to put a label on it, it
I
would
don't
be
have to.
the closest
Just own
thing-
it. Just be like, You can just literally say, I'm spiritual. I don't follow any religion.
I am spiritual, but the closest thing to my foundation is Catholicism.
How can that be the closest thing to your
'Cause that's what I was
foundation?
raised on.
Okay, all right, but how can that be the closest thing to your
'Cause that's
foundation?
where-
But you don't believe in Adam and Eve.
I said that's what-
Doesn't make any sense to me.
you don't have to believe in everything under it.
Then
Technically.
don't associate yourself with the guideline. Don't associate yourself with that sect of Christianity.
But
Then.
I believe in majority of more of it than I don't believe in every piece.
Okay, we can agree to disagree. Because I'm not gonna like. Obviously, those are your core beliefs.
Hey, you got the answers?
I don't have the answers.
Okay. So why are you telling me?
I have
why
some.
to
I have
choose?
some answers for
What are the
sure.
answers? Tell me.
I just told
Answer
you.
me.
I just told you this for an hour and plus. I told you the answers.
What? What's the answer?
Catholicism has core beliefs in order for you to be a Catholic. You believe in the Holy Trinity. You believe in the Immaculate Conception. And you believe Holy Trinity, Immaculate Conception, and the last one that I've been repeating over and over. You see, my brain is fucking rotten again. And sorry, in the resurrection of Jesus Christ and his ascension to heaven. Those are three fundamental beliefs of Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
Out of those three, do you believe in all three of them? In order to be classified a Catholic, you believe in all three of them.
Who said I was trying to be classified as Catholic?
You this whole time you've been associating yourself with it.
I said under the guidelines. I told you I was spiritual, and under the guidelines, I would fall the closest to Catholicism.
So that means you believe in all three of them.
I would fall the closest
Is this?
to
I
Catholicism.
can't believe we made a religion episode. I can't. To
What
idiot-
religion would you consider yourself the closest to?
I don't, because I'm agnostic. I don't
What?
affirm or deny a higher power, so I can't associate myself with any
Oh,
of
wait,
them.
so you have to be labeled.
What do you mean?
You're agnostic.
I'm agnostic. Agnostic is not a religion; it's a stance.
Okay.
Agnosticism is not a religion; it's a stance. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. So I don't associate myself with anything right now.
So that's why you can't understand it.
No, I can firmly say I don't associate myself with anything. You associate yourself with Catholicism, but you have trouble affirming the Holy Trinity, the resurrection and ascension of Christ, and the Immaculate Conception. So that's what I have a problem with, because you claim to follow the guidelines of Catholicism, but when I asked you directly, do you believe in those three things? You don't want to give me a clear answer.
I said, yeah. I believe
So you
all
believe
of
in the Immaculate Conception,
Yeah.
the Holy Trinity, and the Ascension and Resurrection?
I said I believe.
Okay,
in
then never mind. We shouldn't be having this conversation
What are
then.
you
Then
talking
that
about?
means you fully believe and you're a Catholic. Okay.
What are you talking about? I said I'm more spiritual, and everything falls closest to Catholicism. Because I believe in belief, and I believe all of the religions are basically, especially the Abrahamic religions, are all the same religion following different guidelines.
They're not the same because they have different beliefs.
They all believe in the same God.
You said the Abrahamic religions.
Yeah.
They don't all believe in the same thing.
No, God.
Catholicism is an Abrahamic, it's technically an Abrahamic
It's
religion,
an Abrahamic religion.
but the core beliefs of Catholicism
That means
is
they
way
believe.
different than Islam.
I
So you can't really put them together and be like, oh, they're pretty much the same thing. They're
I didn't
not.
say they were the same thing.
You literally just said
I
that.
said they all pray to the same God.
You know that Islamic people don't believe. Islam doesn't believe in the Holy
The
Trinity,
same
right?
God that Abraham believed in. They all
Hold
believe
on. Do you know that Islam doesn't believe in the Holy Trinity, right?
in. And that is for God to decide why that divide happened. Not
What
for
are,
me
what are you
to.
talking about?
That's God's decision to split the religions, like his religion up.
No, it's not.
It's,
'Cause
what are you
if
talking
you-
about?
If you assemble leaders from all those religions, right? They themselves wouldn't agree with you. You know that, right?
What would them agreeing with me have to do with anything?
They're supposed to be the leaders of these religions, right? They're supposed to be the most studied, the most well versed in all those things. We're just two nobodies. They've actually done the research. They have actually dedicated their whole lives to it, and they would tell you that it wasn't God's intentions and that their religion is the one true religion.
And they all have that right to believe that. Like I have, every religion has the belief,
What?
the right to believe in their God. Like I believe in my God, but I'm confused.
But what God do you believe in? According to what we've been talking about, you're saying you believe in the Holy Trinity, so
I
you would
believe
agree with the Catholicism. Just like Islam, I wish we had somebody from every other religion here. It's like so that I can illustrate my point. You're saying that they all believe that it's the same. That's not what they believe.
I didn't say they all believe it. I said they all believe in the same God that Abraham believed in.
Abraham didn't have the concept of the Holy Trinity.
It falls down through this different
Alright.
religions. What are you talking about? Why are there three of the major religions all are in the same God that Abraham believed in?
I just told you Abraham didn't believe in the Holy Trinity. Anyways,
Abraham didn't have the concept of the
he
Holy
sorry, he
Trinity.
didn't have the concept of
Yeah,
the Holy Trinity.
that happened later.
Okay, so you can't really link. You know what?
Can't link
We
time
can we
to
can
this.
we can agree to disagree. I feel like I don't know if our discussion was productive or not
I
at all.
don't think so, but
We threw some thoughts out there, and it was nice expressing those thoughts.
yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like these kind of debates they can go on for hours, and then we keep circling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We did. I never thought in my life that we would have a religion episode. I'm sorry, guys. If we and again, we are not trying to offend anybody. We respect every religions out there.
I respect all religions.
I respect all religions. I respect everything people believe. I yeah. You can believe what you believe. This was just a healthy conversation between two friends. And I love putting people on the hot seat, so I can come across as attacking, and what's it called, and
I was just
aggressive.
wondering why I was being attacked.
But he knows that that's my thing, so that's why he does it. That's why he reacts the way
I'm like,
he does.
yo, you're not gonna get me.
But
You can't
yeah,
gotcha me.
so we respect all religions and all walks of life out there. I'm not an expert in anything. I'm an idiot. Don't take anything I said seriously. But yeah. Any final words for today? I didn't expect us to be here like that, but
Me neither. This is a off the rails topic.
so off the rails. But
But
after
we're here.
50 episodes, I feel like it was bound to happen.
Yeah, just wait till the next one. Politics. The real
Oh
politics
man.
episode.
Honestly, I really want to have one. Let's have one of the history of like the conflict between Israel and
Whoa. We're
Palestine.
gonna do this.
I would love to do that. You know what? I'm gonna research as much as possible just to well verse myself in that topic so we can debate here.
I
I would
mean-
love to.
I'll research to refresh myself, but
Or let's find a topic that we're both neutral on and that we both don't have any knowledge of, and then research that and then talk about it. How about
Alright.
that?
let's do that.
That'll be better. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't take anything we say seriously.
I'll take it
Like,
seriously.
subscribe. Um, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. You running up the numbers. I feel them going back up. I see them going back up, and I'm very happy about that.
Thank you guys. Like, comment,
And
subscribe.
again, please do not eat Habit Burger on a fucking Monday night at 9 p.m. My stomach is still fucked.
You
Good
heard
night.
it from here first. Unless Happy Bird sponsors us, then ignore that.
If they give me a bag, I'm changing my whole stance on that. You already know I'm the great flip flopper. So, Anyways.
Thank you guys for watching. We out. Any last words?
Peace.
Out. Gang. Now these